We are on. We are live. So, Common Core Standard. Today is, it's Halloween. It's the 31st. So, Common Core Standard. We're going to be talking about complex numbers. And complex numbers deal with I, and I is equal to the square root of -1. Okay? Let's just start right there, okay? Imaginary number, if it's all by itself, if it's an I number, it's an imaginary number. If it has a real with it, if it has any other number with it, a real number plus an imaginary, it's called a complex number. It's complicated because it's got a real number and then it's got this imaginary thing. So it's complex, all right? So first of all, example 1 should be easy, okay? I'm going to do it the long way first, and then we should be able to go straight to the answer, okay? It would be the same thing as the square root of 9 times the square root of -1, right? That makes sense. So what times what makes -9? Square root of 9, square root of -1, right? But we all know what the square root of 9 is. What's the square root of 9? 3. And then we have been saying that the square root of -1 is just I. So it's just 3i. That's it. Thumbs up? Yep. Justin's like, yeah, this is easy, Mr. Davies, right? Okay, how about example 2? What are you going to break example 2 up into? 4 and 3. So let's go 4. We're going to go 3, and we're going to go square root of -1. Okay, how's that? How's that? So we get 2 square roots of 3 I. Personally, I like the I. Carter, put that phone away if you have a phone out. There you go, all the way away. Personally, for me, if it's I like the I in the back. Some books will do this. I don't like that. It's not wrong. Different books will do this, but I think the I should be in the back because it's like a coefficient to the I, okay? That's not wrong. You'll see different books do this. I like the I in the very back. Everybody okay with that? Okay. Example 3, same stuff. What do you want to break 20 into? 4 and 5, and we'll go this. Oh, really good question. Great question. So, yeah, is it one of our perfect squares? Got it. Great, good question though, right? That's why I've left those up there for a while, haven't I? Right? But 4 is a perfect square, right? Yeah. So we take the square root of 4, we get 2, so we get 3 times a 2 times the square root of 5i, right? Just going to give me 6 square roots of 5i. Capiche? It's pretty easy. Okay. Am I going, how's my pacing? Okay. All right, now the only difference between example 3 and example 4 is going to have 2 answers, right? We got to have 2 answers because of the square, right? We're going to go plus or minus. So if I take the square root of both sides, I have to have 2 answers. And I'm going to get x equals plus or minus 9i. There, I skipped a step. You okay with skipping that step? Pretty good. Savannah's like, yeah, I got it. Of course, square root of 81 is 9. And we know because of the negative, you got a -1, which gives you the I. Okay? You're good, right? Good man. There you go. Example 3. Okay, now, if we're going to solve for this one, I might need to factor first. Let's see. All right, if I have to factor that, what do you think? You got any ideas on how to factor that? Any big ideas on how to factor that, Keisha? What do you think? You can do that, but you might lose a term. Okay? Actually, I don't mind showing that, but I want to show it on the board because I'm not going to do it this way. Okay? So, Keisha, if you bring this, okay, I'm going to say yes. Okay, I know, okay, you ready? I'm going to tell you real quickly, there are 3 answers. You know, I know that. Why do I know there's 3 answers? Okay, we agree? 3 answers? Okay, so Keisha, if we do that, I want you to see this. So you bring it over, 3x cubed equals a -75x. What would you do next? Divide by what? 3 or 3x? How about we divide by 3x, divide by 3x, right? So then you get an x squared equals -25, right? You agree? And then you'd get x equals plus or minus 5i, right? Right? However, just looking at the problem, just inspecting it, would you agree 0 would work? Just looking at the problem, would you agree 0 would work? Wouldn't 0 work? Because if you plug in 0, it's going to make 0, right? So the problem is when you divide out an x, you'll lose an answer. In fact, the answer you lost was the 0, okay? So let me erase this and let me do it differently, okay? So let me factor, because you can see how we lost our answer. We lost one of our answer. It has to be 3. We end up losing the 0 answer. Now, you guys agree that 0 is an answer? I mean, if you plug a 0 in, it's got to be. So let me go back, okay? So let me do it my way. Not that my way is always the best way, but I'm going to factor, okay? If I factor out of 3x, then I'll have an x squared plus 25 equals 0, right? And then, just like we did before, we've got these little mini equations, right? Remember how we had our little mini equations? So I'm going to go, all right, I'll go 3x equals 0 and x squared plus 25 equals 0. And then you're going to pick up your other answer, right? Because here, you would divide by 3, right? Divide by 3, 0 divided by anything is always 0, so x equals 0. And then here, we'll go ahead and get our i's, right? We'll bring over the 25. I'm going to negative 25. Am I going too fast? Okay. So I broke them up into mini equations after I factored it. Because we talked about that yesterday, right? We talked about you factor mini equations and solve, right? And then divide by 3, so one answer is 0. Here I'm going to square root it. I'm going to get plus or minus 5i. You okay with the 5i? I kind of skipped a step, but I think you can see that, you know, square root of 25 is 5. And you get the I because of the negative, right? You know it's 2 answers plus or minus. Jocelyn's like, yeah, I got this, Mr. Davies. I got this, right? Yeah, sorry, Megan. I moved it up so you could see it, and I moved it too far up, didn't I? Darn that, Mr. Davies, I tell you, huh? Okay, tell me when you're ready for me to turn the page. It's not. They're not that hard, are they? They're really not that hard. She'll lift this for Mr. Hoya. It's okay, though. Okay, ready to turn the page? Ready, set, go. All right. So, example 6. Let's solve for x. Okay, so what do you think? What do we normally do? Solve for x. What do we got to do? Any ideas? What do you want to do? Any ideas? I like that idea. Minus 4, minus 4. I'm going to have the quantity x minus 3 squared equals negative 4, okay? All right, and what did we do yesterday? Remember what we did yesterday? How do we get rid of the square? Square root. Now, how many answers do I have to have? 2, in this case, 2 answers. 2 answers because of the x squared, right? 2 answers, x squared. So I'm going to have 2 answers. So I'm going to get a quantity x minus 3 equals plus or minus, right? Plus or minus square root of negative 4, okay? How am I doing? How am I doing, okay? So then I'm going to have x minus 3 equals plus or minus 2i. You okay at the 2i? 2i, right? And then I'm just going to add 3. Now you cannot add real numbers with imaginary. That's why we keep them separate. So if I go plus 3, okay, watch this. Do not add them. Do not. It is simply going to be 3 plus or minus 2i. And that is 2 answers, okay? And that's the form I like it in. Just real quickly, though, that means, what does it mean? It really is 3 plus 2i and 3 minus 2i. Okay, that's what it really means. But the plus or minus means that 3 plus 2i, 3 minus 2i. But it tells us our 2 answers, okay? So you see the 2 answers. All right? All right, now, I'm going to do this one. So I really like it when it's quantity squared. I really do. So I'm trying to slowly get us ready for completing the square, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm bringing the 35 over, okay? So I'm going to go x squared minus 10x equals negative 35. You okay with that? Okay, now, I want to be able to factor this, okay? I want to be able to factor this, so I want to put a number right here that its multiples will make 10, okay? I want to put a number here so that its multiples will make 10. What do you think number should go right here? I want a number here whose multiples will make 10. What number should go here? Yeah, 25. So we're starting to complete the square. So I go plus 25. I'm going to go plus 25. Okay, let's see what I get. All right, so I just thought, okay, I want to factor this, but I need a number here to help me factor. So I said, oh, let's just add 10 both sides. So now I'm going to have an x squared minus a 10x plus 25 equals negative 10. You okay with that? And when I added in that 25, it allowed me to factor, didn't it? If I put in this 25, it's going to allow me to factor. So I'm going to go ahead and go boom, 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 boom. X minus 5, x minus 5. Okay. All right. That's how it factors, right? Minus 5, minus 5. You're going to multiply to make a positive 25, and it'll add to make a negative 10. And then that can be rewritten as an x minus 5 quantity squared equals negative 10. Okay. How am I doing? Am I going too fast? Okay. This was a little weird because I'm trying to make a problem I can solve, right? Okay, now, square root it, right? Square root, okay, so I'm going to square root. Square root, x minus 5 is equal to, there is no square root of 10. There isn't. It's an irrational number. It's a bad number, so we're just going to leave it as the square root of 10, okay? There is no, 2 and 5 won't work, 1 and 10 won't work. It's just the square root of 10, but we're going to put the I on the back, okay? Now we also need two answers. Am I going too fast? Okay, square root of 10, there is no square root of 10, so just leave the square root of 10. I got the I from the negative square root, and there has to be two answers, plus or minus. How am I doing? Make a little bit of sense? Okay, I have to have two answers because I had an x squared in the original, okay? I got my plus or minus. So now I'm just going to go ahead and go plus 5. You cannot add these. You cannot add these. So my answer is going to be x equals 5 plus or minus the square root of 10 I. Okay. How does that look? All right, now for a